Hello, elegant listeners, and welcome to Go, my favorite sports team, your ultimate sports storytelling and teaching podcast and best sports podcast you ever can have your ears be blessed by. I'm Tyler Scheid, your master of balls and holes, joined by my epically elegant host, Markiplier.
This is breaking news bulletin. In the world of sports, there's huge news occurring. That's it. Hi, I'm Markiplier. I'm here.
I didn't know if you had one or not.
I do have one. I thought you would just say anything. I don't know anything.
Yeah, breaking news. Sports are happening constantly, and we are here to bless your ears with the most up-to-date news.
Well, the only thing I wanted to talk about, but we don't have to jump into it right away. We could talk about how our days are and how we're doing.
You know, today was pretty good. I canceled a lunch meeting because I overslept because I was up until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Doing what?
Well, the copy for the episode that came out was wrong, so I was stressing about that because, you know, with Google AI, I swear the Google Doc system and like shared document system has so many glitches now. It reverted back to the working copy instead of the most up-to-date copy. And I've checked it multiple times and we've ran into this issue before. And so when it posted, the wrong copy was posted because for whatever reason, the shared doc was like, no, we're going to go back to the little PowerPoint ones where it was wrong.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I've really started to hate Google Maps, which is so strange for me to say. I've been using Google Maps since it basically came out as an app. Since I got my first smartphone, I was using that and it was revolutionary. Because you know what came before that? Frickin' MapQuest, where you had to print out directions. I still remember having to do that.
MapQuest, when you actually had to have your sheet of paper and printer was ink and everything.
Yeah, I didn't have any printer ink, so I wrote down the directions on a piece of paper. God, I might as well have pulled out my big ass map and unfolded it. Oh, where am I going? Anyway, they're getting bad, and I hate it. It's so stupid. It's so basic. Like, how can they fuck it up? When I look for something that I know is in the area, it suddenly pulls something up in Australia. When I'm just trying to like swipe around the app, it'll suddenly jump me over like 2 counties across, and I'm like, why? How is this possible? How are you messing it up? It's the most basic thing. It doesn't need to change.
Yeah, I have that same issue. I was trying to find like a local place near me to walk to get a specialized item, you know, that only some stores carry, and it was trying to push me all the way into Covina, which is so far east.
People really take it in Silicon Valley, like the idea that you fail hard, fail fast. And they completely forget the whole success half of that, like that idea. And they just keep failing. Let's fail hard, fail fast. And I think they discovered, like, they were doing research because people have, in Silicon Valley, when app development is happening, they have this system called Agile. They call it Agile. I don't even know what the acronym is for, or even if it is an acronym. It stands for, we're going to fuck this up so bad and cost so much money. That's exactly what it stands for, because they did a study and it found that guess how much percent more failure occurs when they use the Agile method of development?
200%.
267% more.
Almost 300%. And the only reason I said 200 because I heard you go
that many more projects fail just because they're doing this dumbass system where it's like, we don't have time to write up any kind of information about what the hell we're doing. We just need to get features out. It's so dumb. And it's about damn time that things start falling down around them.
I just had a really dumb moment. In our recording software, there's the little red dot that flashes. I happened to glance and see it, and it looked like it was on my wall, and I looked to see what the hell's shining a red dot on my wall.
So there's a sniper. Ah!
I was like, where's that coming from? That looks weird.
All right, anyway. But news. So Caitlyn Clark.
Yes.
Pretty much the only story to talk about in the news, because for some reason there keeps being controversies, and I'm doing air quotes, around them as a person and as a player. And I find it so fascinating because, in all honesty, like, I don't follow sports very much, at least not until recently. I kind of do a little more than I have in the past, but it just seems so vitriolic about it. I don't understand why people are so angry. The people that are angry, I mean, there's haters in whatever you do, but there are some people that are violently angry that this person even has the gall to play basketball in the first place. And I don't even understand what they're angry about, other than the fact that Caitlyn Clark is performing well, not failing, and playing basketball.
And she genuinely has been late to press conferences because she's signing autographs for fans as she's leaving the stadium because so many people are a huge fan of her.
And there was another person that was saying, like, how dare she ignore all the criticism that's happening? And what she said, that was in response to her saying, like, I don't really do social media. And everyone was like, oh, how dare. And people forget that that's an option. You don't have to be on Twitter. You don't have to be on Facebook. There's a world where you're never on them and your life doesn't change at all. In fact, it's probably for the better. Yeah, you don't need to be on Instagram. You don't need to peruse the internet at all times. It's not a necessity. But nowadays, when someone says something that they don't do that, it's weird. It's unheard of. They're ignoring me. It's like, they don't know you. You're a stranger to them. Like, it doesn't have any connection with their actual life if they don't choose there to be.
If you tried to call them on the phone, they would hit ignore.
Yeah, that'd be pretty weird. If you chase down her phone number, that'd be pretty strange. Don't do that.
That'd be really creepy. Don't fucking do that shit.
So yeah, it's the only reason I bring it up again is like, I just find it so strange. There's all this attention coming to the WNBA. There are more people going to games. I saw statistics. It was like every game that she was playing in doubled the attendance, if not more. And suddenly all these people, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. It's huge. It's huge for the entire WNBA. It's huge.
It's massive, and especially since the WNBA has lost money, this is the opportunity for the WNBA to suddenly be on the map and really push for women's sports to be at the same level of men's sports in the sense of media attention.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, it happens no matter what. No matter what, in any kind of field where there's competition in terms of the success of the popularity and like being, recognized as a skill, your talent's really good. There's always going to be people that are jockeying for position, to use a sport term, jockeying for position, trying to like bat people down so that they can stay on top dog, pecking orders, trying to like figure out where everyone is. But this is just such an extreme, but it's probably just because it's such an outlier. Like there has not been anything like this. And it's one of those things where it's even taking attention away from the NBA. Now people outside of the WNBA are talking about Caitlyn Clark in the WNBA, and it's taking airtime away from people that are like, hey, why aren't they talking about me, an NBA player, or me in this sport that everyone talks about all the time, And so I think that it's like drawing in other people from other fields to get angry and throw their anger in the ring.
I mean, the other thing with it, there was an interesting instance of Pat McAfee, who's a famous podcaster and he's a host on ESPN. It was something along the lines, I don't have the exact quote, and I hope, I'm not trying to say he did this, but from what I heard, he said he would beat Caitlyn Clark in one-on-one. And then they played and he got absolutely trounced and it was recorded and there was a contract written for it to be aired on the Pat McAfee show after the fact. And then he was embarrassed so much that he chose not to air it. And now Caitlyn Clark is actually suing him for violation of the contract because of the contract for that to be on the Pat McAfee show. And I know for a fact that if I played Caitlyn Clark in basketball, she would kick my ass.
Yeah, of course. Wait, I had to look up. I didn't know who Pat McAfee was. He's a former football punter.
Yeah, he was a kicker punter, yeah.
He kicked footballs. What makes him think that he would win?
It's the masculine idea that men can beat women in all sports, regardless of the level. Like an average man beats the pinnacle women in sports. In certain sports, maybe simply because of size differential, say boxing, the ability for a average boxer who actually boxes to fight a really good women's boxer because of the size advantage, there could be an argument made in that way, just because of the amount of muscle mass, force put into the punches, stuff like that. There's an argument there. A woman could absolutely beat the shit out of a male boxer, to be clear.
You and I, if we did a video where we both played Caitlyn Clark, we would still get beaten unbelievably. If we got 3 more friends to play against Caitlyn Clark.
They have to be, they can't be like good at basketball friends though.
They could be. Who cares? I don't think it'd matter.
Does Caitlyn Clark get teammates or is it just Caitlyn Clark?
She'd be sinking baskets from half court. She'd go.
Yeah, and make it, take it. Yeah.
She's like, I think she's almost as tall as you. She's taller than me. Not by that much, everybody. Oh, not by that much. No, she's taller than me. She's taller than most people I know, except for Bob and Wade.
Oh, she's 1 inch shorter than me. Yeah, she's 6 foot.
But your wingspan, it's enormous.
Listen,
actually, her wingspan.
It doesn't matter because she'll create so much separation that I'm not going to be able to touch the ball.
Exactly. There's no chance. But it would be an entertaining video, and hell, we would release the video. So Caitlyn Clark, if you want a 2v1, we'll crush you. I'll write it in a contract. I'll sign it in blood. I'm gonna kick your ass at We're gonna kick your ass at basketball. Find us on the court. I don't think I've shot a basketball in 10 years.
Oh my God.
I don't think I've touched a basketball.
It's been a few months for me. I think the last time I did was like late last year.
And it's if Pat McAfee, he's only got 2 million followers on Instagram. Pathetic. Boo. Well, a little scrub. I'll put it on my Instagram. I don't care. How many followers I got? I don't even know.
Well, what about YouTube channel? You just throw in the YouTube channel numbers. He's got a YouTube.
Combine them all. I kick his ass every metric. Doesn't matter. I'll kick your ass, Caitlyn Clark. I'll kick your ass. I'll kick your ass.
I have bigger numbers on social media.
As if I need more video evidence, like comparing my height to other people. After the Bob and Wade hot tub video, there was a post. Wait, I'll read it to them too, but I had to screenshot it because it was so funny. Okay, so this is Lord Ward 117. Oh my lord, guys, I finally noticed it. I've always been aware that Mark wasn't a tall guy, and in the back of my mind, I've known he was no giant. And throughout the years, I've heard the jokes about his height and laughed along with him. And made fun of him with my buddies as well. But today, as I watched the boat episode, it was finally brought to my attention how drastically short he really is. He not only surpassed my expectations of his height when put in perspective with the other guys, but exceeded them to such an extent that it looks as if Bob and Wade are sitting in a hot tub chatting with a hobbit. I realized that water refraction is a thing, and it also to blame for his shortened demeanor, but no amount of bent light could squash his appearance that much. If it were to be put in terms of a disability, I would not be so disinclined to say that he is vertically challenged. I am at a loss of words and have no more to comment on this. This is truly an eye-opening experience. Thinking emoji.
I watched that episode where you guys were having your talk about the rules. You need to call this person to be a judge.
And you know, it's so funny because I know this, I recorded this before this other episode comes out. The next video doesn't help either because it's there, or maybe it's in the next episode, but it's like we're sitting at the kitchen table at my mom's house, not the same one. She got rid of that one, but it's like that, and I'm always in the middle. So I'm farthest away from camera. So I just like
symmetry, Mark, symmetry.
I know it does work better that way, but you know, it's just then they would just be 2 giants on the other side and looming over me. It wouldn't look good no matter what. But this post is so funny to me, just like. Anyway, but to build my ego back up, Pat McAfee, I'm not only more famous than you. According to Instagram, I'm 6 times more famous than you. You are a speck of dust on the wind compared to my following. Get in line and get in line behind me to kick Caitlyn Clark's ass.
Yeah, and all of you who follow Mark, follow me too, so I can be bigger than Pat McAfee.
Yeah, combined, huge. I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a Z-list celebrity.
I'm so excited for when Pat McAfee sees this.
Is he gonna see this? That would be hilarious because I'm not wrong, but I never do these metric comparisons because I don't give a shit about follower counts. But I bet he does. I really bet he does.
He just wanted to do that just because he cares.
I don't know anything about him other than he was a pussy basically. So he was a pussy about this, couldn't handle it, was too embarrassed, didn't post it. Wow. What a coward. Way to go.
I do want to say this is kind of speculative, and somebody else was reporting on it, and I was listening to what they were reporting on when this came out.
Pat McAfee, it's not my fault. Tyler made me do it.
I know it's my fault.
It's Tyler's fault. It's not me.
I'm going to be sued for slander. Oh, God. But I have other news. Former Browns radio host Bernie Kosar is suing a betting company, a gaming company, who forced him, he alleges they forced him to make a ceremonial bet that lost him his job on the team's pregame show last year, according to the court documents. The lawsuit, which was filed in April, lists Cleveland-based media company Big Play LLC and co-owner Kendall Miles as defendants, alleges Kosar told he would have to personally place a $19,000 bet on the Browns to beat the Steelers, which is at odds with the contract. Because he is team personnel, you're not allowed to bet on the sport that you're reporting on. You're not allowed to bet on football if you work for a football organization. So the lawsuit alleges that Miles verbally assaulted and threatened Kosar and claims there are multiple instances in which the contract was not honored. Kosar says the company was going to place the bet. It was never going to be his own money, and he would never see any of the money, and it would just go to charity if he had won. So again, sports gambling is a problem.
I don't understand how this is still going on. When is it going to break? When is it actually going to be? Because it's already illegal. There's already laws against it. And it's people are operating in the open of just like, oh, that law that we all know is there, and then we're right here on the edge of it, not doing that.
They repealed the sports betting laws. They allowed sports gambling to happen. There are definitely laws per state. Different states have different laws about gambling on stuff, but sports gambling overall has continually been overturned because people want the money. But the problem is you see instances like this and it's like, oh, we're going to promote sports gambling, but nobody who works within the organization and stuff is allowed to gamble, wink, wink, when in reality, you're policing that? You're going to start banning players for it, but yet you openly promote it and make money off of it. It's hypocritical.
Yeah, when's that stopped anyone before? Hypocrisy doesn't mean anything.
It's just horrible because the whole idea of if something can be fixed, especially when it comes to human performance, to make people a lot of money, there are ways people are going to threaten. There's going to commit violent acts. There's so many different things that are very likely to happen as you continue down this path of allowing gambling. Somebody's going to bet like $1 million on the Super Bowl and then try and hunt down the quarterback for the other team or something. Something horrible is going to happen.
And speaking of hypocrisy, what I have now decided I'm going to do is I'm looking at Pat McAfee's Clips channel on YouTube. Great place to steal news headlines. I'm going to my entire segment is going to be stealing Pat McAfee stories. Just in, breaking news. I'm reporting it. Me. Joey Chestnut banned from Nathan's 2024 hot dog eating contest.
Yes, I did see this. The Reddit actually was posting about this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's because of his partnership with the Impossible Foods brand.
Which gets people very upset, but also I didn't even realize that Nathan isn't a dude. That's a hot dog company.
You thought it was just a guy?
I don't know my hot dog companies. Why would I know that? I thought it was Nathan. I thought the old guy who was like, and now the legend, Joey Chestnut. You know, I thought that was Nathan, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, Nathan, man. He's just excited. He's a big Joey Chestnut fan, but apparently not.
No?
Yeah, because he just banned him. Nathan did.
Well, shit. What does he do now? That makes it's the same thing like with Caitlyn Clark. The only reason people watch that is because they want to watch Joey Chestnut pound one more hot dog than he did last year. They want to see his weird face and weird gut.
They want to see how many wieners he can gobble down his throat.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there's other competitive eaters out there, and it's still going to be an entertaining watch. But it's also just like, man, that's kind of doesn't feel like a sport there if, you know, someone else can get a sponsorship with another company and it's just like, oh, not here. Because I didn't look at that. I never watched that hot dog competition, and I never went, I'm gonna buy Nathan's hot dogs. It's Oscar Mayer or nothing, because that's the only packaging I recognize as a hot dog.
Not Hebrew National?
I don't know where that is in the store. All I know is that, yellow package.
Oscar Mayer.
Oh, the bologna. My bologna has a gimme that and I'm going home. You know, I know that. I don't buy Nathan's.
You don't know the Oscar Mayer Wiener song?
I just sang it.
Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Oh, no, I didn't sing that one. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Anyway, stealing more of this is Matt McAfee reporting live. Aaron Rodgers' unexcused absence causing massive drama. Media running wild.
He mostly just talks about football. He's not the greatest source for all sporting news.
Oh, okay. Streaker lands sick backflip before getting tased in outfield. I saw a picture of this. I showed Amy this.
Wait, really? We need to show the Reddit.
Reds game taser.
Wait, was this in Cincinnati?
It was in Cincinnati, yeah. I shared it with Amy because I was looking at it and it looked crazy because I was like, that's not real. That looks so strange.
You know, without context, I think you're talking about the dude's dick.
What? No. Oh, huge.
It's so weird. That doesn't look right.
No, okay, so let me share these in sequence because this is what's going to make it. You got to tune into the video right now if you want to see this. This is Matt McAfee here, so check this out.
Holy crap.
I know, right?
He's clothed there.
Yeah, so they called him a streaker. He's not streaking, obviously. He's just running. They have to be naked to be a streaker. That's what I know. Anyway, so this dude's all like, whoa! And that guy's like, yeah! And then he's like, I did it. I'm making a run for it. Ha!
Ah! They got me in the ass!
This picture looks like something I would have photoshopped for a thumbnail. Just imagine me here with the same face I was doing, ah! And then you back there going, oh! And it was exactly like a thumbnail. It looks so weird.
I'm so excited for when our editors clearly put our heads on these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, editors, I have a Dropbox folder with all these faces cut out. I cut them out many years ago. I've never made a new one ever since. So anyway, that's more Matt McAfee news. Come subscribe to Go My Favorite Sports Team for the best Matt McAfee news you could ever hope for.
And all the news that we're going to start posting on our TikToks and on our Instagram, because we have those. All right, let's get into the episode we're going to talk about today. We got a fun one.
Do you think the editors are going to cut out or keep in me calling Pat McAfee a pussy? Do you think that's going to... Keep it in! Keep it in! I don't care! I could beat him up! How big is he?
If we've learned anything about YouTube, drama sells!
He's only 2 years older than me? He looks a lot older. That's very mean.
It's all those years of kicking balls, man. He's been kicking balls.
I'm half Korean. I have a benefit.
Speaking of sports, there's two different animals that people tend to think of when it comes to sports. Dogs are one of them. You know this. We talked about dog sledding. We talked about it a little bit in the last episode about dogs. What's the other animal that's commonly in sports, you know?
Water. Water. I know. Cheerleaders, dogs, water. That's the ranking.
Wait, dog water like Chica's water? Like the licking water? Horses! Listen, there's a lot of horse-related sports. You got racing, show jumping, dressage. There's even horse triathlons, which is blowing my mind because I didn't know that existed. But horses are amazing. But you know what else they are? They're pricey. They cost a lot to house. It can cost over $10,000 up to way to $10 million just for the horse itself. And that doesn't include the stabling, feeding, grooming, showing, medical, vets, list goes on and on and on, the shoes. So if you love horses, and I know you love horses.
I don't know where you're going with this. Don't lump me in with those horse lovers.
And want to participate in horse-related sports, but owning a horse isn't in your budget? What do you do?
Oh, I don't know. What do you do?
You stick a fabric horse head on a stick and you ride your new hobby horse to victory. Yeah! Hobby horsing competitions feature many of the same events and actual horse sports, such as show jumping, trail riding, polo, and dressage. So let me paint the picture, Mark. Grace, beauty, horses trotting and clamoring. But no, it's human legs with a horse on a stick in between their legs.
Why are you putting this image in my mind? Why would you do this?
It's a mix of tap dancing.
What?
Skipping, running.
What?
Hurdling, high jump, all while trying not to drop your hobby horse.
What?
Your stick between your legs.
What?
You don't want to skip leg day because this sport is all about the legs.
What are you talking about? Stop.
Thick legs, beefy legs, strong legs, elegant legs, tapping, running, jumping, the hobby horse high jump, record being 4 feet 7 inches.
I don't know what's happening.
They're jumping over 4 feet 7 inch fence.
4 feet 7 inches. What are you talking about?
It's the wall. The person with the hobby horse is on the hobby horse, jumped over.
They're doing a 4'7" vertical.
4 feet 7 inches, jumped over it.
Straight legs.
On a no, not straight legs, hobby horse. It's like a hurdle.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
I'm talking about the sport of hobby horsing.
I'm not going to Google this. I don't want this in my search history. I know it's bad. I know you're leading me down a dark road that I will not ever come back from.
Mark, it's fine. The Finnish Hobby Horse Championship is happening this weekend that we're recording this. When this airs, it'll have been either last weekend or the weekend before. So hobby horse has been a children's toy for thousands of years. It's often referred to as a cock horse or a stick horse throughout history, but the sport of hobby horsing has only been around for a little over a decade. While it's relatively new, the sport is growing in popularity. Finland is where it was founded and is most popular, and the Finnish Hobby Horse Championship in 2023 had over 1,500 participants from 17 different countries.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You sure?
I'm positive. I watched videos of this.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. 2024 is shaping up to be a great year for the growth of hobby horsing. UK held their first ever championships in April, and the first US Hobby Horse Championship is being held this August. Slovakia had their championship in 2022, and who knows how many more countries will create their own competitions in the near future. While there may be only a few thousand competing in championships, there are over 10,000 hobby horsing fans in Finland alone, and many more all over Europe, Australia, the US, and beyond.
Maybe this is just my episode where I make as many enemies as possible, but this sounds real dumb. I don't know, man. But so you got a stick with a horse head.
Here's my argument, though. I think this requires more athleticism than riding on the horse and having the horse do the work.
It doesn't make it any cooler, man.
It doesn't.
I don't know, man.
Listen.
I don't know, man. Who's the Caitlyn Clark of hobby horsing? Maybe this is a situation I need.
I actually watched a video on her. I got to go back and find it.
Caitlyn Clark does hobby horsing?
It's time for us to trot into the past and discover where hobby horses and hobby horsing began.
Sorry. So sorry. I was just curious, so I went on eBay and I was like, I'm gonna look up a hobby horse, and just all the pictures are just basically felt horse heads. But it just, because they're on a stick, my brain was just like, decapitated horse heads. Oh, God, no. That's a rubber one. That looks awful.
So there's a Scandinavian Midsummer Festival that has hobby horsing happening. That's on June 28th, or June 22nd, June 23rd. And then there's a stick horse race here in California at the Salinas Sports Complex on July 18th. And then the official USA Hobby Horse Championship is on August 10th in Almont, Michigan. It's a thing.
Yeah, I'm not doubting it's a thing, man. And I don't doubt that it's not athletic. In the same way as like the people playing Quidditch.
It's not Quidditch, it's quad ball.
Huh?
They changed the name.
Why?
Because of copyright and because of Tolkien being...
Tolkien?
Or not Tolkien. Because... Why did I immediately think of Lord of the Rings?
I don't know, man. I get it. Because of Tolkien, yeah. We all understand what you mean by that. I get you. Say no more.
Because of Rowling. J.K. Rowling. They changed it to quad ball.
Rowling. Right, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Act 1, trotting into the history of hobby horses.
Just say it again. I want to hear it again.
Trotting into the history of hobby horsing.
Trotting into the history of hobby horsing.
Listen, I've got a poem in this one.
Is it a eulogy?
You'll have to wait and find out.
Ah, shit.
When hobby horses were first created is not known. But one of the oldest historical references of hobby horses dates all the way back to ancient Sparta, which is Greek, not Romans this time, around 400 BCE. There's a record of King Agesilaus,
Keep going, yes.
King Agesilaus II of Sparta riding a hobby horse with his children. Spartans valued being tough and no nonsense, so being caught playing like a kid wasn't a good look for the king. The story goes that the king asked his friend who witnessed this to not tell anyone about it until he had his own kids. There's also a story about an ancient Greek philosopher, Socrates. He rode a hobby horse while playing with his young sons, though it's not known for certain if it's just a story or actually happened.
This seems different. Everyone understands the concept of like, oh, I'm a kid and I got a horse on a stick. I get that. But I don't think they turned it into a sport.
Let's skip ahead just after the Middle Ages. Hobby horses started popping up fairly frequently in art. One example is the portrait of the infant Don Diego by the artist Alonso Sanchez Coelho in 1577. Features a child holding a hobby horse, but there's also the Bentley window, a stained glass window depicting a May Day celebration, including a man riding a type of hobby horse, and a painting from a 1950s children games that includes a child on a hobby horse. You know, you're right. They're all depicting children.
Because it's a children's thing. It's not a sport.
Since the mid 1500s, there's been many images and written records of these hobby horses, which were also referred to as stick horses or cock horses.
So, I'm sorry.
I said that earlier.
Well, I missed it. When did you say that?
At the beginning of the history.
I wasn't listening to that. Wait, sorry.
There's even a British nursery rhyme that dates back to the early 1700s about the toy.
Cock horse, I've got a cock horse.
Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross.
Say something about it. You can't ignore it, man. Come on, I just embarrassed myself. You can't let me not live like that.
I'm saving up for the reveal of what I have here, okay? Honestly, I was hoping Amy heard that and was gonna bust in and be like, what are you talking about? Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, and she shall have music wherever she goes.
That's a terrible nursery rhyme. Not enough kids falling from trees.
Not enough kids falling from trees?
Rockabye Baby. For some reason, the baby was all up in the treetop.
Just the baby.
Wait, what is that? Hold on. All right, I knew that's not a horse. I know a horse. That is not a horse. Censor that. Censor that. Censor that. That's not a horse. Oh no, Pat McAfee's gonna have so much ammo to roast us. But we're doomed.
That's why I said wait for the payoff. Wait for the payoff.
That wasn't the payoff. What do you mean payoff? I don't want the finish. Stop. No.
Hobby horses have remained a popular children's toy for hundreds of years. And over time, sports involving hobby horses have emerged. In 2013, the first Finnish Hobby Horse Championships took place and have taken place each year since, and the 2024 one will be the 11th year. Hobby horsing sports. Act 2. Equipment. Baby Mark.
You're not getting Baby Mark anywhere near that shit, you sicko.
It's a horse, not that one. Before you can participate in a hobby horsing sports, you'll first need a hobby horse. You can buy one for as little as $20 on Amazon, order a custom one for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, on eBay I saw. It was quite expensive.
As Baby Mark would do. Build your own.
I don't know about this, guys.
First, you need a stick, approximately 3 to 4 feet long, which is almost a meter. 1 by 1.5 meter fabric for the horse's head. Velboa is apparently a good fabric. Filling material, yarn or fabric for the horse's mane, buttons or beads for the eyes, scissors, needle and thread, or a sewing machine, hot glue gun optional, and decorative materials like ribbons, paints, etc. for customization. Just tell me how you're building the horse's head.
I'm not. I don't like this sport. This sport's dumb. I'm saying it.
You weren't a horse or horse boy?
No, it's not a horse boy. What the fuck?
You weren't a horse boy?
No, shut up. No, I wasn't. You can't prove it.
You didn't wear cowboy boots and go on the farm and ride horses?
I'll never release a video. No, I don't care what the contracts say.
I went to horse camp when I was 10.
You did? Lucky. I was poor. I went to dirt camp.
You built your hobby horse out of dirt.
I rode that dirt. I rode that dirt into the ground.
So you got to prepare the horse's head by making the fabric outside. Then you turn it right side out. You stuff it with the stuffing. Then you attach the head to the stick, usually hot glue or sewing or, some combination of the two. Add the horse's mane after the fact, which is, the top part.
I know the mane of a horse is. I know.
The thing is, for official hobby horsing, you have to have a lead on your hobby horse. So you have to have the face lead.
The face lead? Is that what they call it?
The reins.
I was going to say GIMP mask. I was like,
the what?
GIMP. GIMP, the image software. That's what I was talking about.
We're going to the Finnish Hobby Horse Championship. The first event that we're going to compete in, Baby Mark, is dressage. You perform a series of predetermined moves before a panel of judges, competing against other riders for who can execute the moves with the most form and precision. It's a similar sport to gymnastics and figure skating. Tell them what you're going to do, you have music to it, you do a routine, and you're given a score based on how your performance was. And like normal horse dressage, hobby horse dressage is all about precision, perfection, and control, which means you are going to be doing a lot of legwork to dance and trot around in precise ways to imitate the movements of how a horse would actually move its legs in the same sport. So you're gonna be kicking your legs and trying to be like steady. When one hits, the other foot has to stay upright. And then it's like very precise. The stillness is as important as the movements. And you have to stay within the dressage arena, which measures 7 by 21 meters or 23 by 69 feet. And they have markers along the edges and on the floor of the arena that are used for more complex movements, which high-level competitions require specific, precise movements for you to hit your marks on the floor.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to really get into this one. I'm trying to be, sports for everybody. I'm gonna get some jacuzzes about this one. I can feel it.
It's a lot of muscle control. Their leg strength is incredible. I watched videos of this. In fairness, I laughed too, but I can't argue against the athleticism and strength and muscle control required to do this shit. Like it's a dance, but it's also extremely, like, the strength is there. And the element of having to hold the hobby horse between your legs completely still and not rack yourself with it, man, like, it's seriously a struggle. I think we should do a video trying to compete against each other in this competition. Amy all judges.
I challenge Pat McAfee to a hobby horse competition.
Yes!
I would kick his ass.
You'll make him rack his nuts on the pole of his own hobby horse.
Yep.
Here's a common like routine that you would have to do. I just got to show you this. There's a walk, which is in purple. The trot, which if you've ever seen a horse trot, there's like a movement to it and a pace to it, but it's rhythmic. The canter is even more like it's faster. I personally have ridden on a horse when it's cantered and I find it horrible. But like you have to transition and do specific precise movements based on the arena and the marks on the floor. And the flying change, you gotta jump. Listen, everything from the length of your stride to your posture to your timing needs to be perfect if you want to win. Each move needs to be right to start at the right marker and end at the right marker if you want to make a good score. If the steps of your trot are too short, you don't reach the mark you need to be at, you'll have to quicken your pace, losing your points. One mistake can ruin the entire routine.
Is everyone doing the same routine?
It's set to music. There are required movements. I don't know if they're doing the exact same routine. I could not get that information, but I don't believe they do the same routine. I think you have to have certain elements, but you have your own full routine.
The more that it's presented like a dance, I can start to get behind it. I can start to understand it and respect it. Not very much, mind you, but it's a start. I am beginning the process of accepting this.
The other event, high jumping. Arguably the most impressive event in the championship, the high jump competition is a mix of jumping hurdles and a high jump competition in track and field. The goal is to be the highest jumper if you want to win. The arena for the jumping events is usually around 10 by 20 meters or 33 by 67 or 66 feet. There needs to be enough room for the competitors to run up to the hurdle and land after the jump, and there will be a hurdle set up in the middle of the arena with markers where you are to start your jump. So it's not just height, but you have to jump the distance too. There's a marker of where your jump has to begin, and you have to reach the high point of that point. It's like a combination. You know how in track and field, long jump has that line where your foot hits and you can't step after that to begin your jump?
Yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Your goal is to clear the hurdle and get back in line as you all are running in sequence. If you don't clear the jump and knock down the pole, you're eliminated. Once everyone has made the first attempt, the pole is then increased in height, and you'll repeat until only one person remains. But during this, your hobby horse, you want to have a shorter stick because you don't want that stick to hang low when you're hurdling over it, because that horse has to stay between your legs.
Of course, not moving. Yep, absolutely.
So you are jumping with your head still high. You can't flip. It's a hurdle type jump where you have to tuck your legs and keep that horse from hitting the bar as well.
So it's basically is straight leg. If you're just tucking your legs in and you're going, that's very impressive.
Yeah, and so that's the high jump in there. They also do show jumping, which you run around. If you've ever seen show jumping by horses, you have to run a sequence of hurdles that are on different heights and different widths, different launch points, and you have to run in the sequence and jump them in order in the proper directions, and you get timed and scored based on clearing the jumps as well as your form and how you looked during it as well.
If I look real good, I'll be...
If you look elegant. The high jump to me is the one that's the most sport-like, but I can't argue with dressage because you're not out there for like seconds. You're out there for a significant amount of time having to match these steps and do things like with very controlled muscle precision. Like I can't stand on one leg and lower and do what they do in there without shaking. Like my muscles, the fatigue and the endurance required for that and control, incredible. So this, like, I first was laughing about this, but then I watched the videos and I was like, holy shit, this stuff is actually insanely athletic. It's basically, to me, it's like taking track and field or gymnastics in some capacity and doing it in the sense of you really only use your legs and you have to have a stick between your legs the whole time.
I mean, that's, yeah.
So the athleticism is there. It does look funny, though.
It's just like, I can't get past it, man. I don't know. It's like, I usually am on the, I'd say that this, if we have to put it on our ranking list, you know, real horse racing, rugby, water polo, the water, dogs, and cheerleaders. It's got to be in that order, you know. Oh, sorry. I didn't even put hobby horsing in there. Hobby horsing, cheerleaders.
So the YouTube video that I saw was posted 10 months ago. The title is Hobby Horsing, Serious Sport or Eccentric Make-Believe. This is like dressage. They're showing dressage here. Look at how many people are in this arena. This is the show racing that I'm talking about, having to run and hurdle those things. So, like, I mean, clearing that jump is something. It's not an easy feat.
I'm not trying to be mean. I don't ever want it to seem like you can do whatever you want in your life. You can do whatever you want. Go get that hobby horse trophy. You get it. You do that. Prove me wrong.
So this is just an unusual sport that most people will shit on. I do think it looks funny. I don't think I could do it. I'd be too worried about racking my nuts, but...
So long as... I didn't see a lot of guys.
I didn't see a lot of guys either.
Did not see a lot of guys.
I think that's probably a reason.
So long as people get fulfillment out of it, I'm never going to question it. If there's some hobby horses out there that want to explain how hobby horses horse to you, let us know on the subreddit.
Can't argue with the athleticism. They do got to run and jump. That's hobby horsing. That's all I got for you.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of subjects today.
Also, you get a trophy, but you also get a ribbon for your hobby horse.
That's nice. Anyway, that's it. Merch!
Store.gmfst.com, where you can find the merch to dress up your hobby horse.
And if you're Pat McAfee watching this far,
we'll out hobby horse you, Pat McAfee. Anyway, if you have jacuzzes or you want to share your thoughts on hobby horsing, if you're a hobby horser yourself, go to the subreddit. It's reddit.com/r/gmfst, where you can post, air your grievances with jacuzzes, or even send some episode ideas using the episode suggestion flare. So outside of that, we're gonna skedaddle and go tend to our hobby horses.
Always a fun time. I'm gonna hobby my horse real good.
All right, bye.